New, local, unique. My TV 53 News at 8 starts right now.
I mean, right now, we're at 43% inflation in the auto industry, and the reason why is that we cannot produce any vehicles right now.
It is official. Goodbye gas vehicles in California. Talk about a big story. Good evening and welcome to the San Joaquin Valley's only 8 p.m. news. I'm Austin Reed. It's Thursday, August 25th. New tonight, reporter Kaylee Kwasnick spoke with one local car dealer about this news today and joins us from the newsroom with more in tonight's big story.
Thanks, Austin. This is big news. California regulators have implemented a new plan to ban the selling of gasoline-powered cars. The rule issued by the California Air Resources Board will require that all new cars sold in the state must be free of greenhouse gas emissions like carbon monoxide by 2035. This new policy is widely expected to push the global transition towards electric vehicles in not only California, but the rest of the country. I talked with Fresno car salesman and expert Andre Ramirez, or better known as Mr. Hollywood, about what this looks like for consumers and those in the car industry.
It could be one of the issues. Even prices are going to start going up. People could start looking at paying, $50,000 for, electric vehicle. Teslas are almost, between, $60,000 to $120,000 vehicle. Do the monthly payments? Are people ready to make that next step? That's going to be the questions. How hard is it going to hit your pocketbook?
Ramirez says California is going to be forced to put out over 1 million electricity-ran cars, but comes with the issues of not having enough power, enough human power for the labor of manufacturing, or water to produce the energy.
And right now they're forcing, these car companies to produce more electricity vehicles, but we don't have the part. We don't have nothing.
Well, we want to hear from you what you think. So go ahead, comment on my Instagram. The tagline is down below. And just tell us what you think about this new plan. I'm Kaylee Kwasnick. Austin, back to you.
Kaylee, we appreciate that. Thanks. New tonight, Prop 29 would require that a doctor, nurse practitioner, or physician assistant be on site during treatment. Cal Matters reporter Anna Ibarra explains Prop 29 now for us. New tonight.
It was on the ballot in 2018, 2020, and it's here again. Yep, Californians will once again weigh in on a kidney dialysis measure. I'll explain.
Hi, I'm Anna Ibarra, health reporter for Cal Matters, and this is Prop 29 in a minute.
Similar to its predecessors, Prop 29 would add rules for dialysis clinics. Most notably, this measure would require clinics to have at least one physician, nurse practitioner, or physician assistant on site, or in some cases remotely available. The initiative would also require clinics to report dialysis-related infections to the state and list physicians who have financial interest in clinics. The measure's proponent, the Health Workers Union SEIU-UHW, argues that Prop 29 would improve patient care and increase transparency. Despite its two previous losses, the union says it remains committed to reforming an industry dominated by large for-profit companies. The opposition campaign, supported by California's doctor lobby, among other medical groups, and financed largely by dialysis giants DaVita and Fresenius, says this is part of the labor group's ongoing fight to organize dialysis workers. They say having another medical professional on site is an unnecessary expense that could lead some clinics to cut their hours or shut down, potentially hurting patient access. So vote yes if you want more rules for dialysis clinics. Vote no if you don't.
To learn more about this proposition and others, visit calmatters.org. For Cal Matters, this is Ana Ibarra.
For more stories from Cal Matters, head to their YouTube page or just go to calmatters.org. Senate Bill 1084 is in the news tonight. This bill would prohibit a foreign government from purchasing, acquiring, leasing, or holding an interest as defined in agricultural land within the state of California. The bill would exempt land held by foreign governments before January 1, 2023 from that prohibition and would specify that it does not apply to federally recognized Indian tribes or their government units and enterprises. No word yet on when the bill could be up for vote in the state Senate. Governor Gavin Newsom today announcing the latest round of awards for homeless housing projects across the state. These awards will create 2,499 units, the largest batch announced to date under the innovative program to help local governments expand permanent long-term housing for people experiencing or at risk of homelessness.
And so Project Home Key is the idea that when everybody said, well, why can't cities or counties, housing authorities, the state, why can't we buy more buildings and get people off the streets today? Get buildings where we can help people ever avoid hitting the streets.
Now to Madera County, where shortly before 10 p.m. on August 23rd, the Madera County Sheriff's Office received a call from a male reporting that he discovered his wife dead at their home. Deputies responded to the residence in the 4000 block of Highway 49 in Oakhurst and located a dead female. Following interviews and extensive processing of the evidence at the scene, detectives determined the female was a victim of homicide. The husband, 58-year-old John Kincaid of Oakhurst, has been arrested and charged with her murder. Over the last few days, members of the Kings County Sheriff's Office, California Department of Justice, also the group Breaking the Chains, conducted an operation to combat human trafficking and child exploitation across Central Cali. During the operation, investigators spoke to numerous individuals through the internet. Through these conversations, several people arranged to meet to pay for sex, receive money for sex, meet up with underage girls for sex, and to procure underage girls to enter into human trafficking. As a result, 12 people were arrested on various charges related to human trafficking and child exploitation. Just in this week, the Uvalde School District has fired Police Chief Pete Arredondo under mounting pressure in the grieving Texas town to punish officers over letting a gunman at Robb Elementary School remain in a fourth grade classroom for more than 1 hour with an AR-15 style rifle as 19 children and 2 teachers were killed. Here is Solange Morin with our news partner at France 24 USA with more details.
The atmosphere in Uvalde's auditorium was tense. Just before the school board vote on whether to terminate Police Chief Pete Arredondo, members of the Texas town expressed their outrage over the police's slow response during one of the U.S.'s worst school shootings in nearly a decade.
I have messages for Pete Arredondo and all the law enforcement that were there that day. Turn in your badge and step down. You don't deserve to wear one.
You don't care squat about these families. If it was one of your children, heads would be rolling right now.
We need justice for our kids.
Following a closed session meeting, the school board made a unanimous decision.
Mr. Board President, I move that good cause exists to terminate the non-certified contract of Pete Arredondo effective immediately.
Approximately 11:32 a.m. this morning.
Arredondo is the first officer to be fired over the police's response on May 24th, when a gunman entered Robb Elementary School and killed 19 children and 2 teachers. Tasked with patrolling the school, Arredondo's team and the some 400 other officers who arrived on the scene waited over an hour before charging the fourth grade classroom. Arredondo's lawyer provided a 17-page defense to the board. The former police chief said he was, quote, forced to play the role of the fall guy.
Multiple systemic failures.
Last month, Texas's state legislature found egregiously poor decision-making in the response by state and federal police forces. Further investigations are currently underway.
That was Solange Morin reporting. You can watch France 24, 24/7, 365 on digital channel 33.6 in Fresno. Now to our other top national story tonight. President Biden on Wednesday announced historic new steps to address student loan debt, which includes forgiving up to $20,000 for millions of borrowers and extending the payment freeze one final time until the end of the year. People hoping to get their holiday shopping delivered on time could be caught in the middle of a growing battle between FedEx and thousands of contractors who deliver most FedEx packages. Many of the contractors used by the company's FedEx ground division say they are losing money even as revenue at that unit soared more than 60% since before the pandemic. As a result, a group of the contractors are threatening to shutter their operations right before Black Friday. We'll keep you updated. Back in Fresno now, the county is set to receive millions of dollars for significant improvements of one city park.
Today, Fresno County was awarded $3 million from the Regional Park Program. This will go towards Chuanami Regional Park in the town of Piedra. It will renovate the campgrounds, constructing a multi-use trail, a sports complex with low-level lighting, including a basketball, volleyball, and horseshoe pit, and also a cornhole game. There will also be 6 cultural, historical, informational kiosks, 2 picnic areas with shelters and lighting, 2 playgrounds with low-level lighting, a walking loop, and a new restroom. We are very excited for all of these new amenities at our Fresno County Park.
Hey, yesterday morning, Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreau and Fire Chief Charlie Norman held the ribbon cutting and welcomed 200 people to the grand opening for the new Emergency Communications Center. New Tonight reporter Ashley Ritchie gives us a look inside.
Hello, I'm Ashley Ritchie at the TCSO News Desk. Here's what's happening now.
First and foremost, to our emergency dispatchers, you don't get the recognition that you truly deserve, both on the fire and the law enforcement side. The emergencies that come through that center, a round of applause for our emergency dispatchers. I, as well as everyone in the field, have been on the other end of a call, and that comforting voice on the other side, it is always just so great to hear.
Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreau and Fire Chief Charlie Norman welcomed hundreds of people to the grand opening for the new Emergency Communications Center. Sheriff Boudreau gave a history of emergency dispatch in the county and included some stories of his own.
I remember my dad telling me a story where back in the day he worked for the sheriff's office, where you would stop at a telephone, call in for your service calls. It wasn't dispatched over a radio. You had to go stop at a payphone, call in to see what your next call was, and then that information, you would take your call, and then you would go to the payphone and call in again. Things have changed, thank goodness.
The improvements from the old dispatch center to the new Emergency Communications Center are significant.
We went from a dispatch center of 875 square feet, and we're now at 3,863 square feet. Significant. You'll walk in and you may think, oh, this is kind of small. No, you don't know small. Small is where we were.
Projects of this magnitude take an arduous amount of work. It took us a long time to get here with several elements: collaboration, planning, leadership, hard work, commitment, and the F word, funding.
That was Ashley Ritchie reporting. Effective today, the KCSO Civil Division will be working out of the new Sheriff's Office building. The new office is located at 1550 Kings County Drive in Hanford. The administration office and main lobby will continue to be run out of the old building located on Lacey Boulevard in Hanford. All right, it is Thursday night. My TV 53 News at 8 is just getting started. Coming up next here on the News at 8, I am digging deeper tonight with Cammie from the Fresno County Historical Society. Coming up, have you heard of Crumble cookies in the South Valley? Brady Lane has, and he'll introduce you to them.
New, local, unique with Austin Reed. You're watching My TV 53 News at 8.
Thanks for staying with us. A grand opening for Crumble cookies in the South Valley brought lots of people out recently. Big surprise, right? South Valley Bureau Chief Brady Lane has the full story new tonight.
Just this last Friday, Crumble Cookies had a grand opening for its new store location in Hanford. Hanford residents have been anticipating this grand opening for quite some time, as their only nearby options to get any Crumble cookies were in Visalia, Fresno, and Clovis. And it's clear with the consistently long line throughout its opening day, even in the intense heat, Hanford goers both new to Crumble and those who've tried it before already were dedicated to getting their variety of cookies. What makes Crumble unique is that its menu is always changing, rotating between 5 unique flavors and oftentimes introducing brand new cookie flavors each week. In fact, this week they showed off a brand new item, the strawberry shortcake cookie. There's even the option to get a classic chocolate chip cookie, which is available every week if you're opting for something more simple. Even if the cookies don't seem to speak with you on a certain week, there's always Crumble Cream, their signature ice cream, which also comes in a variety of flavors. If you want to keep up with Crumble's weekly menu, make sure to follow their Instagram, as they will post all of their cookies that will be available within each upcoming week. Crumble Cookies in Hanford is located at 208 12th Avenue in the store outlet near Jamba Juice and the Super Buffet. Reporting from the South Valley studio in Hanford, Brady Lane, My TV 53 News at 8.
You're making me hungry, Brady. Thank you. If you have a story idea for our South Valley newsroom, email us news@mytv53.com.
My TV 53 News continues with the Valley's local forecast.
And joining us in our Tower District studios today, give it up for Cammie. Hello, welcome back.
Hello.
Here's the thing. Now, before we used to talk about the underground gardens, you've kind of shifted to mainly working with our Valley history now, right? Tell me, what's the rundown?
So technically, I am the Director of Educational Services for the Historical Society. So I work with Fresno Unified, Fresno State, writing curriculum and basically teaching our valley about our valley's history. So it started out as just something as easy as if teachers are teaching about World War II, I would do research and provide them with materials to help them relate our valley's history of World War II into their curriculum.
Okay.
And then as I started going through that process and working with teachers, I started realizing how much, I myself included, we don't know about our own valley history.
Right.
And one thing with the Historical Society is we firmly believe that we make history every single day. And history is people.
Right.
And we have so many amazing people here in the valley who are doing amazing things and sharing that with people. And so I started our Valley History on Insta and on YouTube to share all the great things that we have here in our valley with everybody.
So is this what you're going to be doing, kind of like a podcast, or
Maybe
how are you
eventually.
doing? Okay.
Right now we do have the YouTube channel and Insta socials, of course.
Sure.
We are going to be launching a blog and then eventually maybe even a podcast too, if the interest is there.
Right.
It seems like people are really interested to learn not only about our valley's history, but then also how it affects us even today.
Sure.
So it's super fun to be able to go to different places that not just our youth, but maybe you or I wouldn't normally go to. You know, different museums. Like we went to Allensworth State Park a couple months ago and learned all about Allensworth. Do you know about Allensworth?
I do not know.
Allensworth was actually the very first all-black community that was self-sustained right here in the valley.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's
And
crazy.
it was Colonel Allensworth came back from the war and after the Civil War and just couldn't find any place that was accepting of African Americans at the time. And so he and a couple others started their very own community, and it was self-sustaining for a few decades.
Kind of similar to that community in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. And I mean, actually, it's not even just Allensworth, but there's been self-sustained communities like that of different demographics for over 100 years of people just trying to, hey, you're not going to accept us? Well, maybe we can do it on our own.
Yeah.
And we can learn so much from that as well. Right. So, but you'll have to watch the episode on our Valley history.
I know,
to
I'm
get
going
the whole
to.
Story.
It's just so amazing because this is your passion, right? And that's the big move from going, from the underground gardens to this. You love history. I mean, you're a political history major, right?
I am a history major.
Okay.
I have my master's in museum studies.
Okay.
I do. It is my history. History is my passion.
Yeah.
I love to share it. And as I was saying, like I didn't when I first moved to Fresno. I hate to say, but I was that girl. What's there in Fresno? There's nothing in Fresno. What is Fresno?
Yeah.
And then over the last couple of years of being able to work with teachers and work with the community, I've really learned that there's a lot of really great things happening here every single day that need to be shared with the world.
Right.
And honestly, I've met amazing people who own businesses here and who are just really striking out and just trying to make a name. And when we look back at things we have in our archives, that's what's in our archives is pictures of people, their stories. And that's what we're trying to do is tell people's stories.
More to come.
More to come.
Stay
More
tuned.
to come.
Cammie, thank you.
Always a pleasure, Austin.
I'm Austin Reed. We'll be right back. I've been waiting for this story all day. Finally tonight, NASA has released a haunting audio clip of sound waves rippling out of a supermassive black hole located 250 million light years away. Take a listen. So the audio released by NASA is what's known as a galaxy cluster, which has so much gas that they picked up actual sound, but they amplified it and mixed it with other data to hear that black hole. So while it sounds like something perfect for Halloween, as Halloween is coming up, I don't think it's anything too scary. Let's get a final look at your weather. It's not too scary either. We're going to cool down just a little bit by the weekend. We will take it. It is still officially summer. What are you going to do? All right, that's going to do it for the news today. Thank you for joining us. No news tomorrow because we've got another Visalia Rawhide game, another home game stretch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday exclusively on Channel 53. I'm Austin Reed. Good night. Have a great upcoming weekend. I'll see you Monday.